All right, we begin tonight at 11 in the town of Lancaster. That is where a town board meeting was completely taken over by friends and family of the Lancaster Depew Boys and Girls Club. Good evening, I'm Scott Levin. Mary Alice is off tonight. This all comes after the town board made the decision to leave the club off this year's budget. 2 on your side's Andy Payton was there tonight, and he has the details.
If you grew up in Lancaster, chances are you've been inside this building.
It was always an after-school destination for me.
It's where Adam Stotz spent his childhood.
Yeah, it was always a part of my life.
And now as its board president, spent his afternoons making sure it's a part of thousands of others.
So it's more than just sports and fitness.
That impact not lost on the town of Lancaster.
For a lot of years, people just trusted what was going on here.
But its town supervisor tells us the way the club is going about it is the problem.
And there were things in there that were kind of, for us, for the town of Lancaster, a little bit disturbing.
For the last decade, the Boys and Girls Club has received $245,000 each year from the town's budget. But according to Leary, they never provided a trail to show how that money was being used.
We don't know how our monies were spent.
That's why he tells us the board removed the Boys and Girls Club from this year's budget and plans to withhold any funding until they can prove where the funds will go.
We never used that money for anything that our agreement didn't permit.
But back at the club, Stotz tells us they already planned their own budget around this funding and says they were never notified of this change despite the town's budget being approved back in mid-November.
This is a pretty public process. Is that not fair to say that you could have raised these concerns back in November?
We didn't know they were going to be concerns. I think that if the supervisor saw everything that we're prepared to have a conversation with him about and saw the level of support this organization has by the Lancaster community, I'm hopeful he would have came to a different decision.
The Boys and Girls Club is like an escape from the hard and mean reality out there.
That's what packs so many into this tiny town meeting room tonight that even we could barely fit.
I don't think anybody has a clue what's going on here.
It would be devastating for hundreds of kids, including me, if worse comes to worse and the funding gets cut and it closes down.
Knowing that without this funding, their beloved club's days are likely numbered.
And I wish that future people will be able to go to this establishment.
Now, the funding isn't completely off the table for the Boys and Girls Club. The supervisor tells me they are in the process of hearing the club out, but that any agreement moving forward would likely require the club to seek approval for each individual use of town funds rather than just receiving a large lump sum as it has been done in the past. On your side here in Lancaster, Andy Payton, Channel 2 News.